The AI iterates. I mean, we're getting a lot of user stories by industry, et cetera. If you were to say 100% of the user stories that are sitting out that you've encountered thus far, would you say that maybe, 80% of them are very much reoccurring, so that when you're getting into a new engagement with a client, you already have a body of knowledge of how you've addressed the 80 of those 100 user stories, so that you have a certain level of acceleration?
Uh, so almost every business is a little unique, but yeah, I would say that you can at least use the past experience to influence the next conversation.
Hmm.
I'll give you another example. So in the healthcare space, there's this concept called revenue cycle management, where a lot of claims are rejected because one piece of data is missing. Well, guess what? Right, the way that they're managed today is that you either have to have a live agent call that individual, and that takes up a lot of time and energy, and you're limited by normal working hours.
That's
You
right.
could send them a letter, right? But the odds of that return are fairly low, right? Because most people think that it's a bill, not actually a question of how do you actually get paid and resolve your claim. A better use that case there would be, let me just call you back, Frank, and ask you the piece of information that I need from your claim that I just didn't have. Like, for instance, you forgot to check the box, am I a smoker, or my marital status.
Hmm.
But if I could just have an IVA call you and say, Frank, this is, we're looking to process your claim. We need one bit of information. Could you please answer this question? You answer the question. We say thank you. Well, guess what? That's a huge impact to not only you as a patient, right, but also to a medical group. That was uncovered by understanding how that revenue cycle management worked. Without understanding of that process, we were not able to apply an IBA. But if you take any sort of business process, we can usually dig into it and find an opportunity to provide some level of automation or improvement by using artificial intelligence.
That's complex, and I would imagine that in the implementation process that you uncover new things, and so as a result, with this particular type of deployment, is there a period, let's say from once it goes live, that the first 90 days has a significant amount of iteration that goes on just from like active response that you're getting every day, and the analytics are providing you with data and insights that that this is not something that can wait 90 days. You really need to make that change today.
Yeah, and I think you would break it out like first 90 days, you discover what you missed
Hmm.
or what was not uncovered. And then ongoing, you're really improving the process.
Hmm.
So in the first 90 days, it's about gaps, right? The subsequent period beyond that 90 days is about iterations and improvements and optimization.
Hmm. How are you planning for like privacy and compliance requirements as you're going through the implementation phase, and then how do you manage and monitor adherence to those?
So I just brought up a medical example. So we are HIPAA compliant, right? We're extremely sensitive on PII and PHI information.
Mhm.
We offer services like through Five9 for encrypted data, right? Encrypted data in flight, encrypted data at rest, right? We don't like to store information. In fact, we pretty much don't store information on our sites. We're always asking the customer that their responsibility for data is for them to maintain it through whatever third-party relationships or internal relationships they have. So data integrity is huge for us. We have an international footprint, so GDPR is very top of mind for us. We're very mindful of adhering to that. From an IBA perspective, we recommend, and in fact, we won't even touch, deployments that violate either HIPAA information or PCI SOC 1 and SOC 2.
Mm,
So data integrity and privacy is critical, and it goes very much into our deployment philosophy.
that's great. I think that that's an important component, and when you're moving into the legal and operations side of the business, that's something that becomes more and more critical because it's exposure and risk.